movie consumers and crime connoisseurs. Welcome to the 17th episode of Mugshot Mornings, where we explore true crime one sip at a time. As always, I am your host, Sydney, and although we do talk about true crime, we do talk about other things. So today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite conspiracy theories, two that kind of tie in together. But before we get into that, I would like to get something off of my chest. I'm filming this on Monday, November 11th. And the election just happened a week ago tomorrow. And it's not my place for me to say anything. There's nothing that I can do or change anything now. But, and if y'all don't want to hear about how I'm feeling, not just about the election, but just this year in general, I'm going to give you a timestamp to skip forward if you don't want to hear me talk about these things, because I'm very emotional today, but I know that today's video is going to be a good one, and I'm very excited about it. But I have to get this off my chest. This year has been just shit for me. I started off the year very excited, very proud of where I was at in my life with my friends and the people that I surrounded myself with. And then something drastic in our friend group happened in March. And it's legal. I actually can't and won't talk about it. And that caused a divide. Losing a friend that I thought that I would have my whole life. Like someone who was in my wedding, who has taken up for me before and defended me, and then come to find out she thought the opposite. So that happened. And then, I gained some good friends. But I have never, in this past year, felt more alone in my whole life. I got accepted into grad school, but everything is so expensive, and I couldn't go because of just the amount of debt that I would be in, so I didn't get to accept something where right now, if I would be filming right now, I would be in grad school in a doctorate program that was very hard to get into, and I didn't take that opportunity. You just, you find out truly in your mid-20s how alone you can feel and who your true friends are. And I've never felt more alone. People who I thought were my friends, just don't invite me to things anymore. And I don't know if it's something I did or if people are just mean, and I'll never know. And I don't get that. And it didn't really actually start happening until after the huge divide that we had in this friend group. It sucks feeling like you're nobody's favorite friend. It really does. And I know that I'm my husband's favorite friend. I know that I'm my sister's favorite friend. People that you surround yourself with all of the time. The political divide recently it just doesn't make sense to me. It was brought to my attention that I was upsetting people, that I was voting not for this man, and I haven't talked to my mom in 2 months. I don't have a family community right now. I don't think anybody understands that, why did we have such this profound belief that Republicans are just going to save the U.S. like Jesus did? Jesus was a socialist. If he was alive today, he would have been a socialist. He would have been for the people, and he would have been, even in those times we read it in the Bible, he hung out with the prostitutes. He hung out with the poor. And, this man that was just elected into office is defunding education, which it goes back to I should have taken I should have taken the opportunity that I had, because now I don't know if I'll be able to, because I won't be able to afford a higher degree. And I can't do anything with the degree that I have now. He's putting tariffs, and the top 2 Google searches for the past week is how can I change my vote and what are tariffs? I have never made such a big decision ever without putting research behind it. And my beliefs are not more important than other people. My political opinions, my beliefs are not more important than others. But like this, I'm so scared. Like this past week has been so heavy. I don't know if you can see it on my face. I found out that our freaking mortgage is going up again for a second year in a row, and we can barely afford anything now, like just in general. On top of the AC, I have just been under so much stress and so scared and I'm just been so overwhelmed that I have had the worst fever blister breakouts. And before y'all say anything really disgusting, it is so stigmatized. I can't help it. My mom passed it down to me somehow, and I started having them around 1 year old. I don't know what happened. But I get fever blisters really bad when I'm stressed out. Like, can't think of the last time that I had them this bad since our wedding. Like, the day after we got married, 3 popped up, and it looked like I had lip fillers. Like, that was how swollen and terrible they were. It's really bad right now, and it's really affecting my mental health more, because I'm already, like, really insecure about just how I look in general. And I'm sorry to be, like, so heavy. I just need to get this off my chest. That, like, I want everyone to know that, like, I want y'all to come to this podcast for the people who are upset with the outcome. I want this to be a place that y'all like, go to, you know? That this is fun for y'all to get your mind off of things. And I want you to know that I voted for human rights. I have too many gay friends. I have too many women in my life. And the thing is, I am a Christian, and I am rooted enough in my beliefs to know that politics and religion are separate. This is me just getting this off of my chest to whoever is listening. This year's been so hard, and it's only up from here for me. I have to make the most of what I have, which are really good friends who don't make me feel lonely. But to the friends that I feel isolated from, I miss you guys, and I need you guys. I don't even know how to transition into the video now, but thank you guys for listening. If you did, you probably didn't, and I totally understand. Alright, this week has been heavy, and I hope that this remainder of the video can kind of be a distraction. I've always made it a vow to be a safe person for people who don't have that. My bartending business, when people book me for weddings, I am booked out for 2 LGBTQ plus weddings for free. I don't charge anything because they already have it hard enough as it is. Probably don't have any support from family. I want y'all to come here and listen to a story. Even though it is dark, but listen to a story, listen to a conspiracy theory, listen to cults, anything, and that's a distraction. So, and if to the people who are from another country who are listening and you have no idea what I'm talking about, just look it up. I know it's probably made its way over to y'all now. Elephant in the room, I know that I have a cold sore on my face, and I explained why. I've been so unbelievably stressed. And it sucks because I literally go see Billie Eilish this weekend. And I'm so mad because I'm going to look so ugly, and how is she going to want me now? But I don't wear makeup whenever I have like an outbreak on my face. I've already sanitized all my brushes because I had one last week that I literally just got done with one Friday, and then this popped up Sunday morning. So yesterday morning. I can't win. So let's get into today's video. So we will be talking about something that is very interesting to me. It has always been so confusing, and it's something that no one can really explain, and that is simulation theories and the Mandela effect. So have you ever questioned our reality or wondered if our universe is nothing more than someone running a computer program that controls our every move? Do you believe that our world is mirrored with another? You're seriously about to question everything in this video. But of course, before we start, Morgan, leave me alone. I see you on Friday. Before we start with anything, let's talk about coffee. What are we drinking? I almost added alcohol in mine. I'm trying to not drink randomly, but more socially. I'm trying to kind of watch my alcohol intake. I didn't have a problem, but like, you know, I don't have like the slimmest face or the slimmest body, and I think a lot of it comes from like when Aaron and I go to dinner, I'll get an alcoholic drink just because I can, and I don't even need one. And I also have been so stressed that I'm trying to not. I don't have like any type of addictive tendencies. Like, I've never smoked cigarettes. I tried a vape like once or twice. I will say that I'm pretty sure that I am addicted to caffeine, because if I do not have a coffee or something throughout the day, I have like the worst headache ever. So obviously that's withdrawals. Anyways, I am trying to just like drink very socially, like special occasions. That is the vibe. So yeah, I made one today. It is 4:20. I made a brown sugar latte with almond milk. I didn't add any extra sweeteners because the almond milk that I get is vanilla, so it's already kind of sweet. But yeah, so it's okay. Honestly, I think I need to get a different almond milk. But I heard that Silk has had so many recalls that I refuse to buy Silk now. So I've been getting like, is it Califa? The hell? This one right here, I've been getting this oat milk, or almond milk. And it's just like, I don't know if it's too nutty or if it's too something. I've been wanting to make my own oat milk and almond milk. I've been wanting to get into that. But I feel like that's a lot of work. Like, I've been watching people do it, and you only get like half a mason jar a couple times. And I don't really want to vibe with that. I have to do that every single day. No, I'm not doing that. I want to make like one big batch. So, but I gotta buy that cheesecloth or whatever. It's whatever that dumb shit is. And then you strain it. Oh my God, am I a pilgrim? Oh my God. No, I will just buy my own. But if y'all have any suggestions of like the best store-bought almond milk, let me know. Just let me know. I do want to say thank you for 1,100 subscribers. What the hell? That was a burp and a hiccup at the same time, if y'all are wondering. Thank y'all so much for that. What do you mean? That was insane, seeing that. I do want to address the elephant in the room. I did not post last week. And the reason for that is I filmed a video about the murder of Ted Bundy. Dude, it was literally like 12 minutes long. The thing is, I did research for it like 2 years ago when I was still doing crimes, cults, conspiracies, when I was doing like the all 50 states. It was not a good video or an episode. It was not good. And so I told myself whenever I came back, I wanted to do quality over quantity. And although I missed, and I didn't mean to, I just want to apologize. I did not mean to miss. It was filmed, and I was in the middle of editing it, like, last Tuesday. And I was just like, this is, like, really bad. Because I had, like, no introduction before the video either, so it was so fast. Like, I'm telling you, I think overall, I had only edited like 12 minutes of it, and I still had like 8 minutes left. And I said, this is not good. And I wasn't happy with the result while I was editing. So, quality over quantity. Oh, also, let's address something in the room. I did buy a softbox light. I don't know how I feel about it, because this is what it looks like without it. Like, y'all are used to this. Here's it with the softbox light on. It's not a ring light. It just gives a little bit of a glow. I will see after I film. If not, I'm just going to return it. We talked about our coffee. We talked about our trauma. Now let's talk about Sip and Solve. In August 1966, the bodies of two Brazilian men, Manuel and Miguel, were found on the Morro de Ventum Hill near Rio de Janeiro. And also, please forgive me if I butchered that, okay? The scene was nothing short of bizarre. Both men were lying side by side, wearing formal suits, waterproof raincoats, and strange lead masks that covered their eyes. Next to them was an empty water bottle, a packet containing 2 wet towels, and a cryptic note that read, 1630, be at this specific location. 1830, ingest capsules. After effect, protect metals await signal mask. There were no signs of trauma or struggle, and no cause of death was ever determined. The mask covering their eyes appeared to be handmade, intended to protect them from radiation or some unknown effect. The purpose of these masks had remained a mystery. The cryptic note left by the men suggests that they believe something extraordinary was about to happen, but its exact meaning is still unclear. Locals reported strange lights in the sky over the hill that night, fueling speculation that the men were involved in a ritual or attempting to contact extraterrestrials. For reasons unknown, no conclusive toxicology report was ever completed, leaving the official cause of death unexplained. The lack of concrete evidence has made it impossible to determine the true nature of their actions, leaving the mystery of the lead mask case unsolved to this day. That shit got me. And I have been starting to do kind of research on this because I want to know. I love unsolved mysteries. Sometimes I think when you find bodies that have some type of cryptic things, this is my theory about this. This is Sip and Solve. This is not about simulation theories or Mandela effects. For anybody who is waiting for that, I'm so sorry that I have not gotten to this yet. We'll get there. Give me a minute. So, I am a firm believer that whenever there's bodies randomly found, it's the government trying to distract things. Or it was something gone bad that made it look like, maybe, like, obviously, like, staged. So, if they were a part of some group, maybe they knew too much and the group set them up, and it could be for reasons not even pertaining to aliens or anything like that. Like, they found out too much about that. Maybe they were just like a part of the mob, or is Rio de Janeiro mobs or gangs? What is it? Either way, maybe they were part of something really dangerous, knew too much, were gonna leave, were deployed to, I don't know. I feel like I'm literally talking out of my ass. I don't know. Maybe it is a distraction by the government pulling these people. That's why they didn't do a toxicology report. I don't know. This is one that you gotta go do your research and let me know your theories on this. Let's get into the actual content of today's episode because I don't know when to stop yapping. Let us talk about simulation theories. And I do have a video because I was caught in a simulation at work and no one can explain it. It was very freaky. Okay, but I want you to know whenever I talk about any conspiracy theories, I am in no way saying that these are real. This is just for entertainment purposes, and this is all stuff that I have compiled that other people have had experiences with, and there is a lot of controversy around this conspiracy theory in general, and people try to debunk it or explain how it's impossible. This is just for fun, okay? Like, calm down. Now, what is the simulation theory? So the simulation theory is a hypothesis that proposes our perceived reality is a powerful computer simulation that was created by a higher being. So that is just one theory, of course, but there is an overall topic in question. This theory starts all the way back to the birth of the universe millions and millions of years ago. The very, very beginning has something called the quantum foam. It can't even be said that it occupied space for how small it is. It was there before space and time and everything. This is before the Big Bang Theory, or as Christianity believes it to be the work of God in the book of Genesis. Either way, whatever you believe, quantum foam was before any of it. There is no casual truth or explanation as to what really happened in the first place. So a physicist named Guido Tonelli created a book called Genesis, the story of how everything began. And in this book, Tonelli discusses about the concept of inflation as the initiator of cosmic inflation, comparing it to a skier encountering a dip on a mountain slope. This dip represents a disruption in the cosmic foam from which the universe emerges. However, the question still remains, what caused the inflation to create this disruption? When envisioning the initiation of the cosmic inflation, Tonelli offers an analogy of a person at a desk, booting up a computer and launching a program. This analogy suggests that the universe's emergence could be comparable to the activation of a simulation. The idea, though it is often dismissed, gains traction through its introduction to the public, validation by experts, and the accumulation of supporting evidence, aligning neatly with the simulation hypothesis. Now, what this means is that the past, present, and future all occur simultaneously due to the modern norm of physics. Now, this term was not really used until 2003, when philosopher Nick Bostrom introduced his famous simulation theory. He believes that a future society became so technologically advanced that they kind of learned how to generate complex artificial mirroring worlds using computers. Now, these future beings are so powerful and have extreme cognitive and physical capabilities beyond than what we could even perceive as normal. Basically, the human race, as of right now, are not tangible beings, but merely coded constructs of the digital world. Like, we're the Sims characters being played by someone else. Now, in comparison with the quantum foam versus the quantum realm, this is a quantum computer that is running on an open world program, which is something that we will never be able to understand. Another scenario correlated to the theory is that there are true humans who are real and organic, but there are a number of people in the world who surround us that are simulated. This theory is most accurately described by the movie The Matrix. The film, in summary, is a post-apocalyptic world in which machines have captured most of humanity and imprisoned their minds with an artificial reality known as the Matrix. In this movie, humans are walking around and living their everyday lives, not realizing that they are actually living in a simulation. So you've heard the term, or the phrase, a glitch in the Matrix. Well, that was first formed in the 1999 film, The Matrix, which basically revolves around the idea that humanity is living in a giant computer simulation. A glitch in the Matrix became a shorthand for an example of an unusual occurrence that literally cannot be explained. Now, before I show you my story in my video that I captured, I'm going to read some other stories first from people on Newsweek who sent in their own stories. Now, I'll have the story posted up and you can read along with me. So, Vampire Thriller on Newsweek recalled, I was once on my own in my family home. The family was all on holiday and only I had keys. I was making jam. I came to put it in jars and couldn't find half the lids, so I left the lidless jars in the pantry and went to bed. Got up in the morning and all the lidless jars now had lids screwed on tight, and in every jar was a dead spider. Now, I'm not in any way saying that this is like any of these are real, but there's something to think about, and two, hey, what the fuck? Spiders are actually probably my biggest fear, so seeing the story, I did not like it. 419 HLR writes, I was making myself a cup of tea, then putting the milk back in the fridge after using it. The doorbell rang, so I answered it, and when I came back to get my cup of tea, the milk was beside my cup. I thought it was weird, but maybe I got distracted by the door and put it down instead of putting it away. I took it to the fridge, opened the door, and there was the milk. I had 2 identical milks. We had definitely only bought 1 carton, so I have no idea what happened. Okay, so this is what I'm going to talk about mine, because mine kind of goes with this. So, I know that y'all have seen the TikToks of the girls that have all of their nails done. All of them. All 10, they're all, for an example, they're all green. all of them are on. These are like acrylic, so they're not their real nails, or maybe it's the real nails and the gel completely came off in one. Most of the time I've seen them in acrylics. They look on their desk and there's something green and it's a fingernail, and all of their nails are still on, so it's not that they popped off a nail. I have proof that we are living in a simulation, okay? I'm about to pass out. This is the bathroom in my office that I share with other people. So this paper towel is mine, okay? I threw it away. I had something on my hand before I went to use the bathroom. Now notice this, okay? When I was using the bathroom, I finished this. And I went to go throw it away, but it's already there. And this is mine. This is mine. Like, I did this before I used the bathroom. I finished. I asked everybody in the office. They didn't do it, but nobody was in the bathroom with me. Like, that is one thing that I'll never be able to explain, and I had a freak out for like 2 days after that. Like, I literally was like, I'm living in a simulation. Okay, so I'm gonna just read one more story. These are some that y'all gotta go look up, because some of these stories of people talking about it, they're insane. And like I said, I don't know. This is my experience. I am not lying. This actually happened to me, so I'm sure this actually happened to other people, but I'm just reading what other people have said. Spiderlight on Newsweek said, I went to an event with my very first digital camera. This was back in the 90s when they were quite a new thing. I took lots of photos in the morning, and then around lunchtime, I realized that I'd lost the camera. I was gutted, retraced my steps, asked at every stall I'd stopped at whether it had been handed in, but there was no trace of it. At the end of the day, I went back to my locked hotel room, quite some distance from the event, and the camera was sitting right in the middle of my bed with all of the photos from the morning on it. What do you mean it's back on your bed? Like, did he go... she? Did they go back to the hotel in between morning and lunch? I don't know. So we talked about the simulation theory. Now we have to talk about the Mandela effects and how these two tie in together. Because everyone knows about the Mandela effect, and they have one that they die on. They would literally take it to their grave and they will die on that hill. For the random people who say that they don't know about the Mandela effects, lock in. It all originates back to 2009 when Fiona Broome and many others believed that they learned that Nelson Mandela had died sometime in the 1980s. She created a website and suggested that she remembered learning about former South African President Nelson Mandela, who had passed in a South African prison in the 1980s. However, Nelson Mandela was not dead. She created a website that coined the term Mandela effect in 2009. But Nelson Mandela did not actually pass until later in 2013. As she shared her confusion, many others remembered seeing that Nelson Mandela had passed. They remembered seeing the coverage of his death. They even went as far as to say they remembered a very specific speech from his widow. A large mass of people remembered seeing news coverage of this, but it never happened. So how do we explain this? So this ties in with the simulation theory, is that we all have lived something and remember something so distinctively that we might have lived and experienced the same thing before. In other words, a glitch in the matrix. It is something that we cannot understand, but we also cannot explain. So you have many people who, like, and it's not just many people, it's like a large amount of people who remember something so distinctively, but it never happened. So why is it that we all remember something and we cannot prove it? There's a lot of other Mandela effects. And that's why it's called Mandela, because of Nelson Mandela. But it's something that we all remember and it's never been the same. So I'm going to group this into different categories. The first category that I will be talking about is TV shows and movies. There's going to be a bunch that I remember. Some I don't really know about. One I was kind of involved in, so that's great. So I remember the show with the women in New York, Sex in the City, Sex in the City, Come to find out, it's never been Sex in the City. It's always been Sex and the City. So then we have one with Star Wars. Everyone remembers I Am Your Father. I want you to fill in the blank. So apparently it has always been no, I am your father. Not Luke, I am your father. Even the man who plays the character literally said, Luke, I am your father. When he first read it, he was just in total shock. He even remembers it differently.
When I first saw the dialogue that said, Luke, I am your father, I said to myself, he's lying.
Then we have the TV show of a prehistoric family. Now I want y'all to say it out loud. What do you think it is? Do you remember it being Flintstones? Or do you remember it being Flintstones? I remember Flintstones. I remember calling them Flintstone gummies, those little, or not gummies, the Flintstone vitamins. I remember, and I've always called them Flynn. I've never called them Flintstones. That one gets me. So then we have Mr. Rogers, his famous line whenever he is talking about the neighborhood. Actually, it's this neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
We always remember, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. No. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. Everyone agrees that is incorrect. Okay, this one is the most wild one because it's completely different. It is not even anywhere near just one word being messed up or a letter. My aunt quotes this to me all the time. Hello, Clarice. Hello, Clarice. And it is from Silence of the Lambs. He's never said that. He always says, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
No, he fucking didn't. No, he didn't. So many people have quoted hello, Clarice, or something similar. He's never said that. He's always said good morning. So we have Risky Business. This is the one that I'm involved in. I want to say it was 2015 or 2016. I dressed up as Risky Business, which is Tom Cruise and I think it's 1980s, 1990s, the movie Risky Business, where he's in a t-shirt and his undies and his socks. What else? Did you say sunglasses? Hey, no. I wore sunglasses with this because I strictly remember him wearing sunglasses. I remember him doing this, and that's how I took my pictures. He's never worn sunglasses in this movie. That's one that I will die on that I know is not correct. Then you have the Berenstain and Berenstain. Everyone knows Mandela effect strictly because of this, so I'm not going to go far into that. Plus, I don't really remember that much, So then we have Looney Tunes. Tunes, meaning like cartoons, not songs. Like it's T-O-O-N-S, not T-U-N-E-S. Turns out it's always been T-U-N-E-S. No, it's about cartoons, not songs. It should be tunes, like cartoons. That one pisses me off. So then you have Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. I remember quoting it my whole life. I remember friends saying mirror, mirror on the wall. Turns out, it's always been fucking magic mirror on the wall, and I know that that's incorrect.
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
I know it deep in my bones that we just made that up. That did not happen. It's always been mirror, mirror on the wall, and whoever says it's not, kiss my ass. This one really got me. Bambi, I used to watch so much when I was a kid. And I strictly remember at the very beginning of the movie, Bambi's mother passing. We all remember that because it scarred us as children. We all were so sad. It's actually a very sad movie. Everyone can agree? No, she actually dies like over halfway towards the end of the movie. Like the middle of the movie, just a couple more minutes after the halfway mark is when she passes. Like over 40 minutes into the movie. Now this one's really funny because my sister can like contest to this. I was terrified of E.T. growing up, like how I am of Michael Jackson now. Like I'm very terrified. That just like it's uncanny to me. So everyone quotes E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home. He's only ever said E.T. home phone.
E.T. home phone.
Let that sink in for a minute and then swallow it and then spit it out and say no. Because that didn't happen. So then we have little minor ones of what things look like in TVs and shows. So we have Pikachu. Everyone remembers Pikachu having a black tip on his tail. Turns out he's never had a black tip. It's always just been straight yellow. So then the next group that we have, and if it looks a little different on camera, my battery died, so I had to replace the battery. Okay, so the next category that we're going to be doing is food categories. Most people get the most mad at because it's very distinctive. Like, it's not a little word that maybe we could have said it was is, it was isn't. This is very distinctive because of the logos and the brand. Everyone remembers it being Jiffy peanut butter. And it's always just been Jif. J-I-F. And then everyone with the Kit Kat. With the Kit Kat candy. Wow, say that like 8 times fast. Kit Kat candy, Kit Kat candy, Kit Kat candy. Well, I guess it's not that hard because I did fine. But anyways, everyone remembers there being a hyphen in Kit Kat. Apparently there's never been a hyphen in Kit Kat. That one gets me the most. And if y'all are listening on audio, I know that I'm just like if you come over to the YouTube part of it, it'll make more sense because I'm putting up pictures. But y'all gotta work with me here, okay? I know that I'm talking nonsense, but for one, this one pisses me off. This is Cheez-It. I always remembered it being Cheez-Its, it having a Z at the end. And I remember like so many friends of mine, and also like we buy Cheez-Its for the office. I had to go check today to see if it was it or its. ITZ. It's always just been Cheez-It. Also, so many people remember, and I remember because I used to type it this way. For Chick-fil-A, there is no K at the end of chick. We always spelled it C-H-I-C. Chick-fil-A. There's always been a K. I remember, I think the very first time I ever had Chick-fil-A was in high school with my softball team. And I went with, I think it was Courtney, Hannah, Lacey, and a few other people, and they were talking about going to Chick-fil-A. And if I still had these messages, I remember because I was like, why is it spelled that way? Because they spelled it C-H-I-C, and I remember whenever I went the next time saying I want to go to Chick-fil-A, I spelled it C-H-I-C. Because that's how because I remember being like, why is it spelled that way? And then at the same time, their slogan is the cow misspelling things. So that's what makes me mad, because I remember it being C-H-I-C. That one pisses me off. With Oreos, we have some in our pantry right now. Double stuffed. I remember double stuffed Oreos. And even then, it's S-T-U-F-F, double stuff, you're stuffing things. Apparently it's always just had one F. S-T-U-F. Get out of my face with that bullshit. I know. Why would we spell it that way? That's the same way with like chick. Now this last category is just kind of like current events. Things that happened that people remember, but either they didn't or they happened differently. Oh, same kind of like everything else, but you know what I mean? Current events. So the first one is that many people remembered Sinbad playing a genie. Apparently, this one is like the most bizarre because he never played a genie. Many people think that maybe they're remembering Shaquille O'Neal playing a genie in the movie Kazam, but many people remember Sinbad playing a genie in the movie Shazam. So that one can easily kind of be incorrect, like you remembered something very different. But I don't know, that one is weird because I mean, like, there's a lot of people that remember Sinbad being a genie. Also, many people remember Britney Spears in 2 different Mandela effects. The first one is in her Oops, I Did It Again music video where she's in the all red leather jumpsuit. Many people remember her having a headset. Apparently she's never had a headset. In another music video, she is seen to, or people remember her having a plaid skirt on with her little gray sweater. She's never had that. It's always just been plain black. I remember, I think when my friend Journey was going to be Britney Spears, she sent me a plaid skirt with the gray, like when she was going to be for her Halloween. You know what? Let me see if I can call Journey right now if she's not at work and see her reaction, because my friend Journey is obsessed with Britney Spears. Like, can do a very good impression type of Britney Spears. It looks like she's in the middle of absolute nowhere. Let me see. Maybe she's on a deer stand, because I know she's been randomly deer hunting lately. Yeah, I'm just going to assume that she does not have signal. So, oh, one household product that many people believe is Febreze. And many people believe it to be spelled Febreeze. Febreze, like a breeze of air. It's always just had one E before the Z. Febreze. Febreze. That's what I have to say to anybody who, like, you know what? Let's move on. Oh, many people believe this painting of King Henry to be holding a chicken leg. No, a turkey leg. Many people believed that he had a turkey leg in this painting. Come to find out, he's always, never had a turkey leg in this painting. He's holding what appears to be like, and this is just like, I don't know what it is, but the like leather protectant over like a knife or a sword. Let me not say knife because I don't know it, but it looks like that's what he's holding. It looks like a holder for something, not a turkey leg. But many people remember a turkey leg. Like, that is like completely different than a knife. When it comes to Monopoly, the little guy, everyone remembers him having a little monocle and him holding the monocle whenever he's running. But apparently he's never had a monocle and he's holding the hat. Like the little motion of him holding the money bag, like he's never had a monocle. I remember drawing him on a little book one time with a monocle because that's how I found out what a monocle was. This one is a main one. This one is like people I know every single person will take to their grave. They remember Fruit of the Loom having a cornucopia. Bitch, it has never had a cornucopia. It has always just been the little fruit. No, it hasn't. This should probably not have been the video that I decided to talk about after something, me just like being upset, because like now I'm like pissed. Now I'm like, no it wasn't, you freaking bitch. I'm pissed off. This one really gets people, and it got me because whenever I was like am I mixing it up? Many people think, when you think of the color chartreuse, what do you think? What color do you think it is? If you said like a purplish pink, you and many others remember chartreuse being this color, but it's actually like a dark shade of green. Not dark like emerald, but like kind of like grass green. That doesn't even sound like it should be the color. And many people are thinking like, well, maybe I'm thinking of like magenta. Well, obviously that's a different color, but many people associate chartreuse with being very similar to magenta. That's what pisses me off, because I could have sworn up and down that chartreuse was pink. It hasn't. Silly. Everyone's so silly. Remember the bear that talks to you about wildfires? I want you to think of what his name is. And if you said Smokey the Bear, again, you and many others, and along with myself, remember it wrong. It's always just been Smokey Bear. Smokey Bear, not Smokey the Bear. And I know that is not right. Because I'm pretty sure there's a t-shirt. None of them say Smokey the Bear. It just says Smokey on it. Like on his little hat. On that stupid little dumb hat of his. Okay, so that is just the many, many, many things that people remember differently that ties in with the simulation. So, the simulation theory is that we're living all in different alternate realities and living like there's some huge being playing with us as if like we are the Sims character in their game, and that we have lived a past life before, or maybe we shift into a different dimension, we shift into a different reality, and that's why you have the fan or the nail showing up or the toilet paper roll, because there's an accidental shift, a glitch in the matrix. And because of that is how we remember things differently with the Mandela effect. So maybe when we shifted alternate realities, there is a little bit of difference, but we never know that we shift into a different reality. So that is like the most interesting thing to me, because so many people that I've talked with are like, oh my god, me with the Ariana Grande sleeves. So many people that I've talked with remember things that I remember, and like we're all like, no, it didn't happen that way, and then you look it up and it did, and then you're like, but 100% of the people in this room believe it differently. All right, that's really all there is today, guys. Not much more I can talk about except going on for a very, very long time of different Mandela effects, but we'd be here for a long time. I had to put in a lot of stuff that a majority of people would know and remember, because there was a few things when I saw it, I was like, I don't know what this means. Not saying that y'all wouldn't, but I was about to talk about it, and then I don't know what I'm talking about. Literally watered down. Tastes like ass. I appreciate you guys for letting me talk at the very beginning and listening to this video. If you've made it all the way through, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends if you're on YouTube. And when I say subscribe, I literally mean like go and hit the subscribe button. I know that I sound like a normal, like really annoying ass YouTuber, and I don't really classify myself as one, but oh my god, like there's so many people who are not subscribed to me. Like, just press the button, because I see that y'all tune in all the time. So we got that. And then if y'all are on audio only, so on my podcast audio only listeners, be sure to rate this 5 stars. I do still have affiliate links, and it is good until the end of this week for Movavi. And then I have a new code after the 14th. So if y'all are interested in any of those codes, y'all can go look that down below. And yeah, be sure to do your research on Sip&Solve and tell me your thoughts and theories so that I can talk about my favorite one next week for the next Sip&Solve segment. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much as always for tuning in and listening. I can't believe that I've made it over 1,100 subscribers. That's so crazy. I'm so appreciative. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.